Way up! Right, welcome back to the garage, as it were. I've got another project on today. So today I'm going to be attacking a bit of a job that cropped up actually earlier on in last week, I think, and I ordered a part from the Tinterwebs because of it. Basically, it's a it's gone off now. So here we are. This is the bit, new shiny bit. This is a PCV valve cover membrane for Finn, and there's Finn. Look, oh wait a minute, that don't look like Finn, does it? No, we're working on something entirely different. This is Tarin's L494. It's called Seer. So a bit of a different job really, because it's changed colour. This is Tarin's L494 has got the V6 petrol in it, supercharged, and I had the V8 version of this in my L322 Range Rover. Very nice engine. They suffer, as you know, from timing chain issues, but mine was very good. 2011 had no drama with it, and this sounds very good too. So touch wood, she's not had any drama with it apart from this. And so we're just going to have a bit of fertile. I'll turn it round and then you can see underneath the engine here, you see. Oh, actually you don't see because there's no light on the job, is there? This is a difficult engine bay because there's no light in here and you can't mount the thing. So you see this bit of a lid here at the back. That's the PCV valve cover, and it's a bit of a nightmare to get to, as you can see. It's really awkwardly set. Now I've pulled this apart here so I can just get at this plastic and move it out of the way. So sort of started before I started filming really. But anyway, the difficulty with this is that these little clip chaps, which you see surrounding the outside, let me just prise one here, you see these little dudes. These are very, very difficult to get off and apparently end up breaking the thing. So I'm going to have a bit of a do at that, and I'll put the camera on one side so you can see me struggle basically. But this is valve cover, PCV valve cover is to fix a lean code that you get on the engine, and I'll flash up the lean code. I'll put it in the picture. And you get lean codes on banks 1 and 2, and occasionally, if it were a part of the diagnostic process, is that if it were an O2 sensor, you usually get them post-cat or pre-cat. You usually get one side, if you see what I mean. And with this being a V6, you've got 2 MAF sensors, and so they tend to throw different codes altogether, because of course they're sort of handed as well, if you see what I mean. Now, biggest job is trying to get those clips out, and I'm told you have to break it off to get it out because I guess they become fragile and stop working. But we'll try with best tool number 1 first and see how we get on. I've never had a lot of luck with these sorts of clips. I've always had bits of drama with them, because whenever I've tried fiddling with them, they've always popped off and generally been very annoying and don't do what they're told to do and all that kind of stuff. Basically that's my story. They're just a little, you can just see here, I'm just trying to pull this clip out, but you can see that I'm having, there you are, that's one broke, and another one, look, it's just flirted off. Now I'm guessing that you're meant to just shove a little screwdriver under it and away you go, but this part comes with a fresh cap, and that's part of the thing. So I'm guessing if you do break the things, it's not really the end of the world. If that makes sense. It's not the best. There's a number of videos on the internet about this, and none of them show you how to take this off, and I was sort of hoping that somebody had come up with a better way, but I think my way is, I don't know it's the best way by any stretch of the imagination, but it's our way. Here you are, look, can you see it's coming out? Now it's a bit of a thing to get to, isn't it? But so what I'm doing is I'm sort of just sliding this pick into the clip, and I'm purposefully trying to break the little clip. Oh, there's one. That's my finger in the way. Look, I'm trying to break these clips off, but there's a bit of some padding here, and that padding isn't helping because it's designed to stop things rubbing, but it's also doing a really good job of stopping this coming out. And I can't get rid of that either. I've tried to sort of push that out of the way a bit. Let's just see if I can get another tool to shove that out of the way while I poke in the general direction of this. This isn't helping at all, says Stephen. I'm doing a grand job of breaking this bit of padding. I don't really want to do that if I can help it. It just looks like, it feels like a bit of a bag really, but it's obviously a bit more going on than that. It goes all the way underneath here, and it seems to trap in between the inlet manifold and wherever that is, the PCV system cover or something or other. So I'm told that you've got prized this out and the diaphragm's busted inside, and that may very well be the case, but I'm struggling here getting at those bottom clips, as you can see, because I can't get my finger around here, and that whatever that is in the way. I have noticed, interestingly, that my new Defender fin has far more metal bits on it. They seem to have been moving away from this aluminium fascination that has been with Land Rover so very long, into, you know, for preferences of other things, I guess. But oh, here we are. What is that going? I know what's on the bottom of this because I've had a look at the fresh one, but I don't want to get into a situation where I damage it, because, well, it's not damage it, but you know, there we go. That's made the correct sort of noise. You've just got fiddle about a bit, I think, is the general consensus of opinion. And try and lever it out and twist it out, and there we go. So there we are. Now there'll be a tear in this apparently, and there it is. Can you see? I don't know if you can just see that. Let me pull this out of the way. There's the tear. Look. Now the difficult part is that didn't come out as nicely as I was hoping it was going to, because half of it's shut in here. Look. There's a thing. That doesn't look terribly clean. We'll have a bit of a rag in there. Now, they say it's only a 10-minute job, and it sort of is, but my opinion here is that getting these clips out is half the drama, really. And this bloody bag or whatever it is right in the way here. That's going to be difficult to move out at road to get another thing back in. I wonder what that does. Must be some sort of padding or silencing it. Anti-vibration something or other. Anyway, the new one, ooh, that was close. The new one looks like this, look, and it comes with a fresh spring, and this one isn't torn, and so I guess you just sort of pop this in and then squeeze it back together. But I'm not made away with confidence, because the other one didn't seem to come out as nicely, did it? It would help if there was somewhere to put me nice magnetic things. I wonder if I put that in there first. Get that out of the way and then sort of try and drop this in. Now I do have to tell you that those little spiky black bits are pretty sharp and quite uncomfortable when they're on your fingers in a bit of an unusual way. This bag, and this plastic bit, is right in the way, and I can't get rid of it. Because it's fast up there, look. Huh. This is the day that Perthy starts screaming when he gets his finger caught in these spiky buggers. And I don't know that I'm going to put, can I put that in there first? Would that work? That doesn't seem like a very good idea at all. Oh, actually, that's helpful. Now, if I can just get this aligned right, we might be there. There you are, look at that. Fits like a glove on a chicken's lip, as they say back home. Well, that wasn't a terrible job, apart from this padding, and I do hope I haven't got any of that caught in there. Better just connect this back up, haven't we, or else we're going to have bits everywhere.
Coffee?
Do you want a coffee? Yes, please. That is the delightful Mrs. Firth, look. She's not paying anybody attention. No, yes, I do want a cup of coffee, and one will be arriving. Isn't she lovely? So that goes in there. Ooh, that goes in there. And now it appears to all be done. So this is the problem. I'm just going to take this. Ooh, there's my spring. Just going to take this out, and I'll show you again. What happens is that these diaphragms fracture here. Look, can you see? And then you get a lean code on banks 1 and 2. I'll pop the codes up. You can see how it's starting there, can't you? I'll pop the codes back up, and you can see what you're looking for. And just to remind you, part number here is L49443, and it is a valve cover PCV membrane. Now, I don't think this is a standard part. This is like a non-genuine Land Rover part, but they were able to send me this in 2 days, and Atlantic British weren't. So this was $30 off of the Tinterwebs, off the Amazon.com. Other parts suppliers are available, and we'll just fire it up and see if it stops revving and making silly noises now. The delightful Mrs. Firth here has had to jump in because I need my phone to read the gap tool, and what we need to do is I suppose I better turn the ignition on. So here's the ignition on. This is a gap 2 ID tool, and it's got a little device, a little dongle chap that you shove under there. And I've used these quite regularly on my L322 and the L494 and lots of other things, my LR3, but there's no coverage for the L663 at the moment, nor I don't think there is one for the 462 either, but anyway. So search for the tool. Tool found here. Look, I just tap into that. I'm giving you secrets here, look. And I'm going to read the faults that I know are present because we've had this engine fault, this lean bank 2, and I'll show you the codes here. So we've got a number of little body control codes. These tend not to be anything serious, ventilation things, and the minor codes, you just get them from time to time. But this is the one that we care about. P2189 and P2187, system 2 lean at idle, and that's what this PCM thing fixes. So we're just going to clear those codes now. And that'll be the end of that. I suppose we can clear all of those as well, so I'm just at clear all, but these will pop back. They're not really critical faults. They're just sort of logs that have been historical logs from some, I don't know, Twitch or minor issue or something. So now we've got that, we should be able to start the car, and with any luck, check engine light's gone out. Look at that. Sounds like a new one. So there we have it. This little offending item, this little Jimmy thing, this diaphragm, PCV diaphragm, that's the cause of the cause of the issue. In particular, I've shown you the little gap in it. And fitting it isn't difficult. It's just a bit awkward, really, and pokey on your fingers. I hope that helps a bit, and I hope you could see what I was I never looked. I hope you could see what I was doing, because there are a couple of videos that show you where it is and what to change, but not how to sort of get about it. Now, I'm not saying that I've got the best techniques in the world, but I just used this little sort of pokey tool here, and I hooked it behind the things and then just broke them off, because it comes with a fresh one. And here's the old bit, and you can see that I've just poked these bits out, and they should be like this one here, which was the one I couldn't get at. And so this chap is how it should be. And what you're meant to do, I suppose, is just press them out, lever them across somehow. But you just can't, as you saw, you can't really get anything in there. And so breaking them off is not a terrible option. Anyway, I'm going to show you they are. Look, that's Sia. And Taryn's L494, which is a grand thing. I'll just go to the side here. I mean, you can see sheds up, can't you? But Champion L494. Taryn's thinking of changing too. She's going to. We don't really need 2 SUVs or 2 Land Rovers, because she literally drives 1.5 miles to work every morning and 1.5 miles back. We don't really need that, so we're thinking about getting a little Mini or something. Idea behind this, of course, was that when we had Hastings had got 300,000 mile on him, and we wanted a backup that was a bit newer. This is 2014 with a third of the miles, really, only 100,000 kilometres. And so we wanted something just as a backup, but it turned out that we didn't really need it in the end. And so Finn is out there, as you can see, doing his thing, and so that's the primary car, unless we get the D5, but that's another story. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope that's been at least partially interesting to you, or useful. I know it's a bit of a deviation from the Defender. I'm going to have to make a whole new cover photo now with L494 or something written on it, because it's not Defender 2020, is it? It's Sia the Fantastic. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe if you find these videos useful, and we shall see you next time. Cheerio!